Have you ever had that feeling that someone just won't get out of your head? That presence that, even from a distance, keeps echoing in your thoughts? Well, that's exactly what you're going to learn to create today. This isn't cheap manipulation. It's pure psychology applied ethically and powerfully. If you're watching this right now, comment where you're watching from, and if you've ever experienced something similar, like and share this with that friend who urgently needs to hear it, because what comes next will completely change how you are perceived and remembered. Get ready, because what you're about to discover isn't just any technique you find out there. It's a complete revolution in how you present yourself to the world, an internal transformation that will redefine how she and anyone who crosses your path perceives you. Forget those cheap tricks and superficial manipulations you see everywhere. We're talking about something much deeper and truer, something that, when mastered, will make her and anyone who comes into contact with you think about you not for a moment, not for an hour, but all the time. Her mind completely captivated. You a constant and impactful presence. This isn't magic or sorcery, it's psychology. Stoic psychology applied to the art of leaving an indelible mark on someone's mind. First, let's talk about the pillar of unshakability, which is the root of lasting memory. Imagine this scene. You're in the center of a full emotional storm. Everyone around you is reacting uncontrollably, yelling, lamenting, completely losing emotional control. But you remain firm and unshakable, calm as a windless lake, a solid anchor amidst absolute chaos. It's exactly at that moment that you become truly unforgettable. The concept is simple, but its application is absolutely revolutionary. Emotional unshakability. We're not talking about coldness or indifference. It's pure mastery. The ability to observe the whirlwind without being swept away by it, not even for a second. Think of an intense learning scenario you've experienced or might experience, a crucial group project for your career. The deadline is getting tighter and tighter. Errors start popping up everywhere. Your colleagues go into full panic mode. Instead of joining the collective hysteria, you take a deep breath. You assess the situation clearly, and you propose a clear, objective solution in a calm, confident voice. Your eyes remain focused on the goal, your hands steady, without trembling. You don't react to stress, you completely transcend it. The clear rule here is that every challenge faced with serenity should generate immediate feedback in your self-perception of control. You feel the adrenaline rushing through your veins, but you don't give in to it at all. How would you react to such intense pressure? Have you ever experienced something like this in your life? True power doesn't reside in external control of situations, but in your internal response to events. The consequence of this? You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the architect of your own inner peace. And that peace is extremely contagious. It's perceived instantly. But this is just the beginning of the journey. The next step will show you how to transform this peace into an irresistible magnetic force. Second, let's explore the strength of quiet authenticity, which is the echo of your deepest truth. Many people out there desperately seek others' approval. You seek yourself. The second fundamental pillar is non-negotiable authenticity. Not that loud authenticity that screams for attention all the time, but the quiet authenticity that resonates deeply. That reveals itself in every gesture, every word, every strategic silence. It's the strength of truly being who you are, without masks, without games, without pretense. Truth is a powerful magnet that attracts the right people. You're in an important mentoring session. You present an innovative idea. You don't worry about sounding perfect or impressing anyone. You speak with genuine conviction, but also with humility about natural uncertainties. A colleague tries to destabilize you with caustic criticism. You listen attentively, you process the information, and you respond with crystal clear honesty without any defensiveness. That specific moment, where the room's light falls on your face, revealing absolute sincerity in your eyes, you don't seek external validation because you don't need it. Your validation comes from within, from an inexhaustible source. For this, we introduce a powerful tool, the Presence Journal, a simple but transformative method to record your daily observations about your internal state. Authenticity isn't the absence of flaws, but the courage to be who you are, all imperfections included. The consequence of this? You attract people who value depth, not superficiality, People who seek real connections, not empty appearances. On the first 3 days, you should start your presence journal. Record 3 specific moments of the day where you felt total control over your emotional reactions. On the 5th day, in a challenging conversation, observe your natural tendency to react impulsively. Consciously choose calmness and see what happens. The first obstacle you'll face is the constant distraction from social media and the compulsive search for external validation. How to overcome this? The Presence Journal is your fundamental tool to focus on what truly matters: internal development. True confidence doesn't shout. It manifests in the quietude of your unshakable inner certainty. The consequence? You project a calm strength that naturally attracts genuine respect and admiration. This will lead you to a new level of human connection you've never experienced before. Third, let's dive into the art of deep connection, which is the unforgettable touch of true understanding. Have you ever felt the abysmal difference between just being heard and being truly understood? The third fundamental pillar is the art of active listening combined with Stoic empathy. It's not about agreeing with everything people say. It's about validating the other person's experience without absorbing their drama. It's about creating a sacred space where the other person feels seen, valued, and above all safe to be themselves without masks. You're in a casual, seemingly unimportant conversation. Someone shares a personal difficulty. Instead of offering immediate solutions or sharing your own story to steal the spotlight, you lean in slightly, showing genuine interest. Your eyes maintain respectful eye contact. You nod subtly, showing you're present. You ask smart, open-ended questions, allowing the person to explore their own thoughts and feelings. You feel their tension visibly decrease. Their voice, previously hesitant, gains confidence and fluidity. The rule here is crystal clear. Every interaction should be a precious opportunity to hone your deep listening skills. Use the feedback loop method after each important conversation. Reflect on what you truly heard, not just what was said superficially. Deep listening isn't anxiously waiting for your turn to speak, but completely immersing yourself in the other person's world. The consequence? You build solid bridges of trust, not defensive walls of ego. On the 7th day, practice active listening in 3 distinct conversations, focusing only on truly understanding without interrupting or judging. On the 10th day, ask a trusted friend or colleague for honest feedback about your communication. Use the feedback loop method to process this valuable information. The second obstacle will be natural impatience and the almost automatic tendency to want to solve problems or dominate the conversation. How to overcome this? The deliberate practice of a strategic pause before responding. Breathe, count to 3 mentally, and only then respond. Stoic empathy isn't about absorbing others' pain and suffering along with them, but understanding deeply without being overwhelmed, offering an emotional safe harbor. The consequence? You become a stable and reliable presence, someone people naturally turn to in difficult times. But there's an even deeper layer to leaving that permanent mark. Fourth, let's explore the legacy of deliberate action, which is the consistency that captivates and conquers. Words have unquestionable power, but action has an eternal legacy. The fourth fundamental pillar is absolute consistency in your actions, the quiet delivery of your true value. It's not about big, spectacular gestures that momentarily impress. It's about the sum of small, intentional daily acts that demonstrate who you truly are at your core. It's the promise kept religiously, the help offered without fanfare, the constant and reliable presence like the sunrise. You commit to delivering an important report. You don't just deliver it on time. You deliver it with exceptional quality, perhaps even a little ahead of schedule. A little help is needed on a complex project. You naturally volunteer without seeking recognition or applause. In a study or work environment, you are the one who is always prepared, who offers a useful and constructive perspective, who stays calm when others completely despair. Your presence is a natural catalyst for productivity and serenity. For this, use a powerful habit tracking tool that helps you visualize your daily consistency. Each completion mark is a solid brick in building your unshakable reputation. Consistency, even in small, seemingly insignificant acts, is the most valuable currency in the bank of others' memory. The consequence? You build a solid reputation, of reliability and competence that precedes your arrival in any environment. On the 14th day, use tools to track 3 specific habits that demonstrate your absolute reliability. On the 18th day, fulfill a small promise made to someone. Even if it seems totally insignificant, excellence resides in the details. The 3rd obstacle will be seductive procrastination and the natural tendency to postpone small tasks. How to overcome this definitively? The crystal clear visualization of the long-term reward and the use of tools to break down large tasks into manageable micro-achievements. It's not about what you do sporadically to impress, but about what you consistently are every day. The consequence: your focus shifts completely from superficial performance to deep character, creating a more authentic and sustainable impact. But the biggest revelation is yet to come. Prepare yourself. 5th, we finally arrive at the indelible mark, which is the pure reflection of your transformed essence. We have reached the crucial point of our journey. The mark you leave isn't a manipulative tactic, but the natural echo of your own deep internal transformation. She won't think about you all the time due to psychological manipulation, but because you have become the living embodiment of qualities she intrinsically admires and values deep within her being. Unshakable. Calmness, crystal clear authenticity, deep understanding, and absolute reliability. You have become the embodiment of a safe harbor, a clear mind, a presence that naturally elevates and inspires. After 30 days of dedicated practice, you find yourself in any social situation. Someone you barely know, but with whom you've had a few brief interactions, spontaneously approaches you. She comments with genuine admiration, "You know, there's something special about you, a different kind of calm, a remarkable presence. It's really good to be around you. I feel better." That simple yet profound phrase, the spontaneous and sincere recognition, not for something specific you said, but for who you have become. The physical sensation of a shiver of deep satisfaction, the clear sight of genuine admiration in her eyes. The final and definitive rule: each day is a precious opportunity to solidify your true essence. The mark you leave isn't a superficial tactic, but the natural echo of your own deep internal transformation. The consequence? A profound and lasting impact that transcends any superficial manipulative technique. On the 21st day, in an intense conflict situation, maintain absolute calm and offer a balanced and wise perspective. On the 25th day, receive a completely unexpected compliment about your transformed demeanor or attitude. The 4th and final obstacle will be treacherous complacency and the sneaky return to old destructive habits. How to definitively overcome this? The constant and honest review of your presence journal and the genuine celebration of daily micro-achievements. True power isn't in being irreplaceable, but in being unforgettable due to the exceptional quality of your presence. The consequence? Your focus shifts completely from an inflated ego to the real value you add, leading to genuine and lasting appreciation. On the 28th day, reflect deeply on the changes in your internal perception and in the reactions of people around you. On the 30th day, experience a crystal clear moment where someone spontaneously expresses the invaluable worth of your presence in their lives. She won't think about you all the time due to cheap manipulation, but because you have become the living embodiment of qualities she intrinsically admires and values deep within her being. The consequence: the ultimate goal is achieved through completely authentic means, not cheap tricks, solidifying a real, deep, and lasting connection. You don't need manipulative tricks, you need true mastery. Stoic psychology isn't about being insensitive or cold. It's about being unshakable amid storms. It's about building an internal foundation so solid and deep that your presence naturally becomes a shining beacon, a permanent mark, a constant and positive remembrance. That person who, by their own transformed nature, becomes absolutely unforgettable. The journey I've presented here isn't easy. It requires dedication, discipline, and especially courage to look within and make the necessary changes. But the results are extraordinary and permanent. You won't just be remembered, you will be valued, respected, and sought after. Your presence will become a gift in people's lives. And that, my friend, is priceless. Always remember that the goal isn't to manipulate or control anyone. It's to develop such admirable qualities within yourself that your presence naturally becomes impactful and unforgettable. It's about elevating your own internal standard to such a high level that you naturally elevate everyone around you. It's about becoming the best possible version of yourself, not to impress others, but because that is the only true way to live a full and meaningful life. Now the choice is completely yours. Will you continue seeking empty shortcuts and superficial tricks, or will you invest in the only thing that truly lasts and matters, yourself? The transformation begins today, this very moment, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, now. This is the moment of decision that can completely change your life and how you are perceived in the world. If you've made it this far, it's because something resonated deeply with you. Don't let that spark die out. Feed that flame. Start your presence journal today. Practice active listening in your next conversation. Stay calm in the next challenging situation. Be consistent in your actions, and watch the magic happen naturally. The world needs more people like you are about to become. Solid, reliable, authentic, and deeply present people. People who leave the environment better than they found it. People who are remembered not for what they did, but for who they are. That is the true indelible mark. That is the legacy worth building. And it starts now with you.